Atari Anonymous. My son Boris has a missile command problem.
My mission in life is to save all of mankind.
Lately, my daughter has developed a similar problem with Atari warlords. Now with video pinball, my husband is acting funny lately. With Atari games so ingenious, so involving, so intense, I ask you, Atari Anonymous, is this problem contagious?
Hello everyone, it's Kevin, and I consider myself pretty well versed in gaming. I've played everything from NES, SNES, Genesis, all the way up to the Switch 2 and PS5. But the Atari 2600? I've never touched it. Now sure, I've played some of these games in arcades before, but obviously that's not the same thing. This is a system that I have absolutely no nostalgia for. No childhood memories either. Just a complete blank slate. So today, I'm putting the 2600 to the test. I'm playing a bunch of Atari 2600 games for the very first time, to see if they actually hold up in 2026, or are they just simply an important piece of gaming history. Before we get into the games though, we should probably talk about the actual Atari 2600 itself. This thing launched back in 1977, which is way before I was born, and judging by my YouTube analytics, probably a lot of you as well. Atari released this console during a time when home gaming barely even existed yet. And back then, this was one of the only ways to play arcade-style games at home. So keep that in mind while watching this footage. If you thought some NES games were hard to figure out, these games came with almost no instructions outside of the tiny manual. And when I say tiny, some of these manuals were like 5 pages long if you were lucky. The console itself came with a joystick that had one button, so don't expect insanely deep controls here either. Now obviously all of this sounds primitive, but this little wood grain box helped create the entire home console market. Honestly, when I think about it deeply, it makes me wonder if we even get systems like the NES without the 2600 existing before it. But enough with history. Let's get into the games. Each game will be played blindly. No bias, just first impressions. I will record my commentary as we go. I also have a bonus game at the end, so stick around for that. Game 1. Adventure. Alright, so this is Adventure. Well, it looks like a lot of squares fighting other squares, but this is basically the blueprint for Zelda. As confusing as this looks, the instruction manual actually tells you quite a bit. There's actually a story to this one as well. An evil magician has stolen the enchanted chalice, and we have to recover it and return it to the golden castle. This game, it kinda has open world exploration. There's good items and bad items, but there's also a lot of trial and error going on with this one. As you can see in the footage, my character's carrying what looks to be a bridge. I just didn't figure out where to place this bridge. Honestly, I don't know what I'm doing, but I feel pretty confident. I kinda don't want to stop. It's a confusing game to me right now, but it's actually impressive and it has a lot of depth for its time. I would definitely play this again. Okay, now we're talking. Pitfall. I've heard quite a bit about this one, and I instantly get it. It seems pretty straightforward. You're supposed to traverse through the levels using smooth running and jumping controls. There's timing-based gameplay. I mean, you need to pass all these swamps and other obstacles. The graphics are pretty decent for the time, and it's a clean design. I feel like this is the first real platformer. Obviously, I'm probably wrong with that one, but it's a good start. This holds up, straight up. Maybe someday I'll score 20,000 points so I could join the Pitfall Harry's Explorer Club. This makes the list. River Raid. This game is fun, but it is kinda stressful. You have to manage your fuel as you go through the level. You actually run out and you could lose your life by losing all your fuel. You also have to dodge enemies and shoot and navigate through the level. The speed actually increases to be pretty fast throughout the game. If you're not paying attention, you could easily get got. When I looked at screenshots for this game though, I thought this would be kinda chill. As you could tell by my description of the game, it is not chill. I didn't know this would be a survival game. This is an addicting game though, and it easily holds up. Activision was on fire it seems, and in this one, if you score 15,000, you could become a river raider. Missile Command. This one is easy to figure out, but it can get a bit hectic. The objective is to protect the cities, but there's multiple threats at once, and it kinda gets overwhelming fast. This is one of those games where you'll not notice that things are going badly, and then you'll lose. Just suddenly, you know? I'm sure you've all played a game like that. I'll say in 2026 that this game is still fun, but if you're not careful, it will humble you if you take it for granted. I give it a pass. Yar's Revenge. If you look at the footage, you'll see that I'm doing things. I don't know why I'm doing these things, but things are happening. This game has some pretty unique mechanics. The objective is to break through the shield and destroy the enemy in the middle. His name is Qotile? Qotile? Okay. This game is pretty abstract when it comes to the graphics, as you can see. There's no hand-holding though. You definitely need to read the instructions for this one, otherwise you won't be able to tell what's going on. This is a good game, but I wish it had a demonstration at the beginning to show you what to do. It's weird, but memorable. I'd say it's pretty good. Alright, Asteroids. This one is a classic. This is a game where most of us have played it in some form. I personally played it as Asteroids 3D on PC. So, Asteroids, if you haven't played it, it features floaty controls and momentum-based movement. It's kinda skill heavy, especially as you get further in the game, and it takes some getting used to. But I find that it's easy to keep drifting into danger like an idiot in this one, so be careful. This is a game that definitely takes getting used to, but it still works, and it works well. It's as addicting as you'd expect it to be. Did you guys know that Centipede has a story? Well, I'll summarize it like this. In an enchanted forest, a colony of elves struggle to protect their mushroom garden from dangerous pests like giant centipedes, poisonous scorpions, spiders, and fleas. One day, an elf named Oliver discovered a magical wand that could destroy the creatures and heal the poison mushrooms. Yeah, who would have thought? This one's pretty fun. It requires a good reaction speed, the screen kinda fills fast, and there's constant pressure. I do feel like this one was ambitious for the console though. There's way too much going on for these graphics and it kinda flickers at times. But it's still addictive chaos, and I love Centipede. I'm gonna look for more versions of this game in the future. Kaboom! With an exclamation mark. This game could get pretty hard at times. The premise of the game is simple enough though. It's pure reflex gameplay where you have to save yourself from the bombs. Speed ramps up aggressively. The Mad Bomber has no chill though. Like, he doesn't care about you, he actually smiles if a bomb gets past you. This one though, like, you could see in the future how people were inspired by it. It feels kinda like a mobile game, but way harder. It's simple, brutal, but it still works. If you manage to score 3,000, you could become part of Activision's Bucket Brigade. What a name. Okay, this one's kinda creepy. Hear this. The astro date is 3200, and you are the last survivor of a small group of Earth people who came to explore the planet Mazion. Soon after landing, you discovered the planet is a dark and apparently uninhabitable place. But by then, it was too late to turn back, because your spacecraft has been destroyed by the Automazions. And if you couldn't tell by the footage, this one is called Berserk. It's pretty cool, you know? I think this might be my favorite one so far. The shooting mechanics are really cool, especially for the time. There's actual aiming. The enemy AI is kinda advanced at times. And there's randomized rooms, so it's different every time you play it. At least it seems so. And then there's Evil Otto. I don't have footage of him. I just have this picture for you, because I didn't get him in my recorded gameplay. I got him while I was playing along on my own. He looks like just an emoji, but believe me when I say that he's the most dangerous thing in this game. Enough said. Yeah, this one definitely aged better than I would have expected. It's a good time.
Hey, Joey, what's she really like?
She's the most exciting woman I ever met.
Yeah?
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the big one. The original femme fatale of the video game world, Miss Pac-Man.
Honey, don't you know I'm more than Pac-Man with a bow?
Of course, it's kind of crazy actually. I feel like she's a forgotten character. And this game, it does play better than the original Pac-Man. Yet he gets all the credit. Of course this game is going to be rough when compared to the arcade version, but it's a solid port. Again, especially compared to Pac-Man 2600. The core gameplay still works well. You guys know how to play Pac-Man. It's a recognizable loop, but it's a visual downgrade. I'd rather play it on the NES to be honest, but it still plays pretty well on the 2600. It kind of feels like a diet version, but it's still Miss Pac-Man, and that means it's not terrible at all. They definitely need to bring her back somehow. Before I continue, if you enjoyed this kind of content, please make sure you subscribe for more weekly. Now, when I randomized the list for this video, I was hoping this game would be a part of it, and that's why it ended up being a bonus, because I really felt like I needed to play it. Donkey Kong. This is Donkey Kong? This is Donkey Kong if you ordered it off Wish. This feels off. First of all, what did they do to Donkey Kong himself? Why does he look like that? Mario looks okay. This one's definitely not arcade accurate when it comes to the game as well. There's missing stages and sounds as well. I think I'd rather stick with the NES version. I see what they were going for, but yeah, they definitely could have done better. It's historically important, but it doesn't hold up. So to answer the question, do these Atari 2600 games hold up in 2026? You know, I thought going into this that I would end up reacting the way that kids nowadays react to the NES, but I was pleasantly surprised. Honestly, all of the games that I played today are good, and I will play them again, except for Donkey Kong. I'll stick to the NES like I said earlier. This experimental video has me wanting to make a part 2 though, so please leave me some recommendations in the comments. After playing all of these games, I've got a whole new respect for where it all started. Because without these, perhaps some of the games we love today wouldn't even exist. But for now, I think it's time to power off before these pixels power me down. I will see you on the other side.